Westbound. Our 500-foot sign delineators and right-of-way sign are in good shape. In this section we had edge cracking throughout, or longitudinal cracking along the edge stripe and the center line stripe, pretty much the entire section. We had areas of fatigue cracking in the wheel paths and other longitudinal cracking. Probably the most significant distresses out on this section are is this transverse crack. Here at station 50, 0 plus 50, we have the core holes that are inside the section. But because of the associated cracking, a lot of times that was considered moderate severity. We did have longitudinal cracking along the center stripe that had two cracks that were more than a foot apart, so we didn't include them as being associated, and we'll have, you know, double. But here's the fatigue cracking, predominantly in the outside wheel path, but we did have some in the inside wheel path. Not much else, no bleeding or raveling. In some cases the longitudinal along the edge stripe or the center line stripe opened up and was moderate severity, so it wasn't always because of associated cracking. At 3 plus 25, this is probably the most significant here, and there's actually several transverse cracks that go right across the roadbed, but this is the only one that's seen some serious deterioration. I think we've got some loss of material underneath, or some consolidation in the unbound materials. As you can see, this thing is actually depressed. I don't know if it comes out in the image, but it is depressed and sunk about probably a ½ inch, and in some cases maybe an inch. But that was our high severity transverse crack, primarily because of the width of cracking, but also the associated cracking. That was about the only area that was of that severity. You know, again, we've got, you know, cracking in the wheel path. In some cases we put 0.3 to 0.5 meters width of cracking, but a lot of this was pretty much straight line, fairly straight longitudinal cracks. Again, the 4BM near the end of the section here, as you can see, pretty wide, less than a ½ inch though. And at the very end, we've got another one of those transverse cracks. There was a couple others, but they didn't. When they covered it up with the seal, it hasn't reflected through yet. So I'm sure it probably will over time. But this was one that went right across and was right on our station 5. But you can see just outside the section how it is starting to depress. You know, you can see there's about a quarter inch fault there, and that pretty much concludes the 4163 section US 287 westbound. That's it. It's October 10th, 07. This is the last survey for section 4163.